A lot of airplane Americana. And the first room you walk into for Fort Clinton, and a lot of it is geared towards the TriMotors and the Port Clinton, Put-in-Bay Airlines. But Ford TriMotor was based out of this area for quite a while. You can see it up there, a large model. And they have some of the seats originally from it. Fuel tanks. A lot of vintage pictures and some nice small models. The original Ford TriMotor fuel tank. They have the blocks for wheel chucks. One of the old rims. Looks very wide for that day anyways. And again, there it is up there. Island Air. And they have one of the motors around the corner here. And you can see it. See it there. And a lot more Americana. Some more TriMotor. Memorabilia. And I didn't show you in the other room. Big display of stuff here. We've got old 1919 white pumper fire engine, meticulously restored. The siren, big light, even the belly ring and your ladders. Still has the spoke wheels and all your pump stuff. Pretty nice. And even your old lights. And beside it, they have a really nice collection of vintage toy fire engines. And I mean, they got some old 1920s Steelcraft, 50s Tonka. Nice old selection of, if you're into fire engines and stuff in the area. Nice place to stop. Definitely nice. And then some old memorabilia from days gone by with the firefighters. Old smoke and rescue mask. Some more toys. Foot air bellows from the 1800s. And they have a red, fire engine red, little, looks like a Whizzer, Zephyr. And then they have a horse-drawn 1888 steam engine bumper. Sitting beside a little tiny 51 Singer Roadster. And 1922 Courier sport car. A lot of unique little details on it. A lot of unique vehicles. And the Sandusky tractor over there. Did you know that Sandusky made a tractor? And it is Christmas time, so we have some Christmas stuff up here. In the background you hear a little music. Get a little closer on the Sandusky tractor. I'll get you a little information on it. It's in 1917. And had a 4-cylinder. Interesting. And they have a Sherp. (1941) Boeing Cadet, ready to fly. Very nice. And 225 horse Lycoming. Take a little closer look at that. Looks like it has a Hartzell prop on it. No, I'm wrong. It's a Hamilton standard. You have some old military. We'll see if my guess is right. I'm guessing a Dodge on the first one. And it is. It's a Dodge WC 27. It's an ambulance. I like the spare tire. I don't think it's period correct. It's BFG mud terrain. Same as I have on my old Bronco. But the other tires are period correct. And we have a German troop carrier. And that is, oh, it's a Horch. I have done videos on these in the past. World War II personnel carrier. 90 horsepower power plant in that guy. And we have some post-war cars here as well. And we've got an old Ford hot rod here. We'll get a little information on it. 32 Highboy. And I'll step back a little bit so you can see that nostalgia type airplane paint job on it. And it does have the old flathead Ford in it still. That's pretty neat. And if you look at the seats and stuff in it, look at the interior. It always has a tiller style steering wheel. And it has aviation gauges. Wow. And the toggles. It looks like they pulled the parts right off an airplane. It looks like a bomber inside. The seats. Look at those seats. Wow, what a great job. We'll slip around back. The tires on it look a little bit later design, but the interior definitely a military design or aviation airplane bomber. And back has an old school look too. I love it. And we'll slip in straight behind it. Definitely a airplane inspired interior. With the billet pedals on the floor, I can see that it's fairly new restoration. Really great job. Or resto mod, I should say, hot rodded. But we'll move on from this really cool 32 Roadster, or 32 Highboy, I should say, onto this big old, and I see the Chief on the hood. So when I see that Chief, that looks like a Packard. And yep, that's a Packard 110 Deluxe. And beside that, we have some old Chrysler. Now we're getting a little bit older. That old Ford Model T. And then famous, but it's not a Willys. You notice there's a lot of Ford stuff here, and yeah, this is one of the Ford Jeeps. And if you can see the bolts on it, if they're done right, they should say Ford on them. And I can't quite get close enough to see that. But if you see the new Ford Broncos, they have the same thing. The bolts will say Ford on them. Got a vintage camper behind it, and then I like the big bus here for airship operations for the blimps. There we have a little bitty blimp. And a nice vintage firefighting piece of equipment here. Emerald City Kids fire truck. So yeah, I definitely bet the kids love that thing. And it looks like a little MG back behind. Video game simulator. Really nice old Corvette in here, 61. I like the 57 Chevy. Even has the big boy right there. Bel Air convertible. Another Bel Air convertible. And even Barney Fife made it. We got Mayberry here in town with the, but I'll have to say Barney's Galaxy he's got isn't a boring Galaxy, because it has a 390 big block in it. So definitely a police special. Like you might see him on one of these two little bikes with his one bullet. And then the last one we have here is a good looking Ford T-Bird. And that one is a 1950, there we go, 1956. That one has a 312 in it, so it's a little bit bigger motor in it. Two Island Air Service up there. And over here, we'll spin around real quick. And then they also over here have the old sign from the
Never used.
Island
I guess it was
Airlines,
years ago, they,
the
actually,
world's
B-25
shortest airline.
crashed into the Empire State Building.
And we also have the old sightseeing from sign from quite a long time ago.